it's good to set high standards for ourselves, but when our own expectations turn against us, that is when we become our own worst critic. Sometimes it's discouraging to want to be a part of the health and fitness community when you're left to feel as though society is wanting you to do this every waking moment of our lives. Sometimes we forget that health and nutrition is meant to enhance our lives, not take over our lives. It is something that we have to remember comes from self-love, self-worth, and looking in the mirror and reminding ourselves that we can, that we must, that we will. And today's show, we have 3 amazing individuals who are going to discuss the who, what, when, where, and whys of obesity, of what it is to want to be on such a life journey, and encourage people like myself to want to get fit, to want to get right. We'll be right back on Courtney's Corner. Welcome back. Society says that we are our own worst critic. And when we look in the mirror, that's where the body shaming begins. We allow ourselves to say, well, they're right, and there's something wrong with me. So today I wanted to dive into the who, what, when, where, and why of how do we get out of that place? How do we get out of that space? How can we make health and fitness fun? You know, fun to do, fun to be a part of, and to stop allowing our minds to go to a place of negativity when we're discussing and where we're trying to be a part of this. I was reading earlier and I was able to get some stats, and the CDC and the World Health Organization was stating that 1.9 billion adults ranging from 18 and over are suffering with this, and 340 million kids are going through this. So imagine the world in its entirety full of people who are obese. Joining me today is the incomparable Milena Saunders. She's a personal trainer as well as a certified nutritionist, and she's here to break down just some way that we can kind of take control over this and not let this what I would call a disease or an illness take over our lives. Let's welcome Miss Milena. How are you? Thank you for joining us. So it was alarming, this reading that so many people, billions of people are suffering from obesity. What do you say about that? Why do you feel like we are there, and how can we kind of change that societal, norm that we're struggling with?
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned the numbers. I think that one of the first things that I would mention would be the education of it. So you mentioned the whole entire population,
right,
and also the children. When I was looking at the statistics, we, at least in 2016, we were almost at 40% as far as people who are obese, just in the United States.
Yes.
18.6% of that are children, from 2 to about 18.
Yes.
And so we're talking about people who not only are overweight, but then don't know how to
control
feed their
it.
kids,
Yes.
educate their kids and what it is that they're supposed to eat. I think that's part of the problem. Also, school systems. I talk to parents all the time when their kids are like, I don't know what to eat here, or they have just junk food. It's in their schools, it's in their lines, it's in the vending machines that they use where they get their snacks and everything.
Right.
Sugar, like high foods and snacks that they don't have fruits, they don't have natural whole foods.
Yes.
So it's definitely an education as far as like what we need to know to eat and what not to eat. People don't know what to eat.
And that's the truth. I know growing up for myself, I guess also to it can be a bit cultural because I come from a black family where collard greens and fried chicken was Sunday dinner.
Absolutely.
And red, and red and grape Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? So.
Sure, and then I'm glad that you brought that up because I think the important part of that is that it needs to be a lifestyle. So 30 days is not a lifestyle.
Right.
If you are going to join a program, then it needs to be something that's implemented that is for the long term, that is something that is a slow and gradual weight loss.
Yes.
Because as I've seen in statistics, if you lose weight in 30 days and you lose a ton of weight, that's not sustainable. And then we were just talking earlier about the bypass surgery. And how quickly that weight is taken off. And how people look when they have that surgery. Sometimes it's almost unnatural because they lose the weight so quickly. So making sure that you're on a program that is implemented that is for the long term, that's important. So like a lifestyle, slow, like changing your foods, eating whole foods, not eating processed foods. I'll go over later like maybe some different tips on what it is that you should and shouldn't be eating. Because most of the time when you go in the store, I do what I call it perimeter shopping. So I'm from Texas, so we have grocery stores. But what that basically means is when you go into the store, all of the natural foods, the real foods are on the outside of the store. If you find things within the aisles, it usually has some sort of preservatives or something to keep it on the shelf. So then those things are those things that you need to stay away from. Those things are the things that honestly, when we sit here and we throw around cancer and those types of things, this is a serious thing. They really do cause those types of issues.
Like diabetes.
Exactly,
especially heart
diabetes, the high
blood pressure.
As far as like things that when your salt is high, sugar is high, they have to add those things to preserve it or to give it flavor. And then the other thing that you want to look for, like labels when it says low fat, or those are really key like pickup phrases. But then when they say those types of things, they usually add something else. If it's low fat, then it's probably high in sugar, or if it's low in, I don't know. Like then they usually add an additional something to give it flavor so that it doesn't taste like cardboard. So yeah, definitely cooking your own food is really important.
So let's go on to dinner. Like you said, that shouldn't be our heaviest meal. So for those of us who normally contribute dinner to being the hefty meal before we go to bed, how can we reverse that?
So you probably just reverse it. So for instance, in the example that I gave you previously, the person who ate lunch had the salad for lunch. So switch that. Just have the salad then for dinner. And try not to, what I call like unintentional snacking, especially like people who have kids and stuff like that. A lot of times you're picking off of people's plates and or in between meals. You don't realize how much that adds up. You sit at work and you're like, oh, I'll just have this, and then you eat this and you eat that. Those are calories. Those end up adding up. So like what? So just a salad for dinner? Like could it be anything, or should we kind of keep it really light? No, I think like you could do a salad, grill some salmon. You know, a nice fish, or again, we could steam some vegetables. That would be a nice addition to it. You could do rice. You could still do those types of things, just watching the portions. The biggest part of that shouldn't be the rice. It shouldn't be rice, salad, right? So just flip that. The salad is a bigger portion of it.
And this is really big for me. When is the cutoff? Because I'll eat all through the night, especially if a good movie's on. It's over. So I know if I'm like that, there are millions of people out there like that. So let's kind of find a way. Like when should we be like, you know what, enough is enough. Don't eat no more after that.
What I tell people, because everybody's schedules are different, right? So I may not get home, most of the time I don't get home until 9 or 10 o'clock. So then to tell me, okay, well then you can't have dinner past 8 o'clock, or you can't eat anything past 8 o'clock is a little unrealistic. So I tell people don't eat 3 hours prior to going to bed. So that's what I give people, about 3 hours prior. So then that way you can make that adjustment for yourself. All
right. Now what are some, because I think this is another thing, what are some snacks you can have in between? Because I'm a snacker, a real one. Like I'm king snacker, you know? So like I'll eat something, and I think also too to incorporate 3 meals a day, that it is important, because someone like myself who works at a restaurant and my schedule's so like this, up and down, there's times where I'll go without eating lunch and dinner, and then I'll snack all day, and then I'll try to eat something heavy, but when I get home. So that kind of just throws it out of course. Or should I, how do I kind of get myself back to that? Because it's hard. I'm waking up, I have to get ready for work. Then when I get to work, who has time to eat? Now I got guests to take care of. I have staff to take care of. The last thing on my mind is trying to plan a meal. So what should we be doing? What is important? Like, how do we kind of gain that importance back?
Okay, so I want to mention two things on that. So then you asked about the snacking. Maybe like nuts, trail mix, popcorn. You can do like light, and again, like just making sure that you're watching your portions on that. Hummus and vegetables, like carrots or something like that. I mean, I know sometimes but people like hummus. It's okay. A little pita bread, you could do that. And some hummus. I mean, I throw these things out and people are like, ew.
Right.
Yeah. But,
my mind was saying it, my mouth was like.
Yeah. But the other thing that is important and what I want people to realize is most of the time the problem that I run into with people is not that they eat too much. Sometimes it's not that they don't eat. They don't eat enough.
Yes.
So someone, for instance, who only eats one meal a day and wonders why they're gaining weight is because you completely shut down your metabolism. So your body will go into a starvation sort of mode. So if you go to where you're not eating for a certain amount of time, your body is like, I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting food.
Right.
So it slows itself down so that it burns what it is that it has within you for energy until you eat. But then by the time you eat, you've already slowed your metabolism down. It's really important to eat throughout your day.
Okay. And it's making sure that it's nutritious, right? It's making sure that.
Course.
So let's get into your business. You Phoenix Fitness.
Yes.
Let's get into that. That sounds dope.
It is. I've had it for, let's see, we're in 2018, so I established it in 2010.
Yes.
When I established it initially, I was just doing personal training. It has migrated into, at that time, I was doing a lot of boot camp classes and group fitness classes. But now my sort of baby underneath the Phoenix Fitness umbrella is the Elite Heat.
Okay.
That is my fitness competitors team. So I also prep mostly ladies. I have prepped some men for fitness competitions.
Yes.
All over, mostly on the East Coast though, within different federations. So
she doesn't always get a chance to work out with men. Majority is women because we actually coming together and forming this challenge, not just for myself, but to help the viewers. And the hashtag Let's Get Fit, we're going to be doing an 8 to 10 week challenge. And every day we're going to post something on our IG pages which can motivate you guys, whether we're starting at home or something small that will give you the opportunity to just get up and do something. I am so excited to be a part of this. I was a little hesitant at first because I'm like, I like to eat and sleep. Those are my exercises. You know what I mean? Hand to bag of chips, hand to a bag of chips. I'm working on all of this. You know what I mean? Right. So it's new, and I'm a little fearful, but I'm thankful for you even bringing that idea to me, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Okay, so and all I'm asking is that you trust me for this time.
I do. I trust you.
We're making these changes. I feel like when you're doing these types of changes, once you do it and you feel better and you feel good about yourself, you're going to want to continue to do that. That's the goal.
Well, please follow Courtney's Corner 89 on Instagram because you'll be seeing this every Monday before the show. We'll be right back on Courtney's Corner. So part of this lifestyle journey is not just about what you eat, but it's also exercising. And joining me today is none other than Samantha Grace. Thank you so much for being here. I know that you're a personal trainer. You're also a singer and an actress. So you do it all, basically, don't you?
I try to, yeah.
So when did you start training? When, how long ago?
So I've been into fitness since high school, doing like softball, soccer, yoga, running, and then just a couple of years ago I got certified. So I'm working at New York Sports Club right now and independently. So if you're looking for a trainer, hit me up.
I like the plug. I like the plug.
Instagram is _Grace. You can check out some videos.
So when did you what inspired you to want to get started? Were you a big chubby kid?
What I think a lot of people struggle with is we kill ourselves at the gym for like 2 hours. We're doing total body or on the elliptical for 2 hours, and then you hit a plateau and you're like, I'm working my butt off, I'm eating healthy, I think, but you're not seeing changes. Right. And I think the human body is fascinating, you know, how our body digests proteins and fats and how your muscles react to different things that we put ourselves through. So when I was like, I'm not getting the results I want, and then all my friends, balancing the drinking here and there,
Right.
eating healthy, whatever. I was like, how can we make this more effective so I'm not wasting my own time, even if I only have a half hour?
Okay.
Because if you're in the gym for 2 hours a day, that's a little OD.
It's too much. It's
So
a lot.
I was like, let's learn more about it, the science behind it, the whys, and
Right.
what I could do to basically get the body I want and lead a healthier, happier lifestyle.
Okay, so what do you say to someone right now who doesn't feel encouraged to work out? Because you go to places like Planet Fitness where they're on the treadmill running backwards. First of all, I didn't even get on the treadmill yet, and now I'm ready to stop because you're doing all these extracurricular activities on the treadmill instead of just keeping it simple. So what do you say to people like myself? Because I haven't been to the gym in about a couple of months because I got discouraged. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to go someplace and feel comfortable. And if it can't be the gym, then where can I go? You know?
So there's a couple of things. I'll be showing you guys some at-home exercises, and again, online, my Instagram, YouTube, there are, especially with the internet, you can find it. So that's not an excuse. Secondly, screw what people think. And that's what I tell my clients. I'm like, when I got you, like, it's you and me. Because
Right.
honestly, everyone in New York is too into themselves to even care what you're doing.
That's true.
Just your own
That's true.
self-conscious insecurities getting in the way.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, doing 50% of something is better than doing 0% of nothing.
That's true.
So find your why. Find your why.
Find
it's
your
true.
why. I
And
like
you have to hate your own shit. Can I curse on here?
That's fine, you already did.
Okay, hate it. No, but really, it needs to get to the point where you are like, I'm done with this. Like, I don't like what I see in the mirror. My clothes are tight. I don't feel good naked. I don't feel, because other people feed off of that energy.
Right.
Because you meet someone and you can tell when they're happy and just genuinely good.
So it's more so about like self-love.
It's about self-love, and whether it's like finding an event, a wedding, a pant size you want to wear, and be like, you know what, let me give myself a mark, or just being like, you know what, diabetes runs in my family, and I don't want to be another victim.
Okay.
Or like find a playlist, like do you? That's what I do. Like when I'm pissed or happy or whatever.
You work out.
That's my outlet. I'm doing me. I have my beats in. I find music that gets me pumped.
Okay.
But also program for yourself. Because if you go in being like, I don't know what to do, I'm gonna go on the treadmill, yeah, that's so boring. So like, look at what other people are doing. Look online for things that you're like, I can improve on this, and go in and be like, okay, I'm gonna do 3 sets of 15, take a rest. Even if it's only 30 minutes. But to go and not know what you're doing is gonna be boring and overwhelming to anyone. But find your passion. Because if you're not like, I wanna see changes, you ain't going.
So
find
like
a
starting
buddy.
so basically what you're saying, like starting from within.
Yeah,
like allowing that passion. Right,
like, why do you want to lose weight? And get down to the nitty gritty and have an honest conversation with yourself. Like, is it because I'm sweating all the time and people called me fat when I was younger, or cancer runs in my family, or I don't know, I want to be able to have a son and like run around and not be winded, or catch the subway stairs without being like.
I like the perspective of this kind of being honest with yourself.
Well, and, don't sugarcoat it. Like, you don't need the Popeyes, you don't need the chips. Like, stop playing yourself. Find healthier options and commit to it.
You're right. You're right.
Do it 110%. Don't half-ass it and then go home and like treat yourself to like a gallon of ice cream, because then you're just wasting your own time and energy.
That's true. That's true.
So you need a good support system. I know, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Ooh.
But once you find that fire and you're like, I'm in control of my own destiny. This is my body.
Yes.
I'm going to stop destroying it with toxic stuff and put my energy into something that's beneficial.
Okay.
You will radiate happiness, because you'll genuinely be happier with where you are, and you'll be healthier. Because if you know you're kicking ass at the gym, burning 500 to 600 calories, I guarantee you're not gonna waste it on some empty calories. You're gonna be like, I'll go for the sweet potato and not the French fries. And then eventually you're not gonna crave it.
You're right, that's true. Well, please commit to watching. We'll be right back with more Courtney's Corner. So we are back with Samantha, who is going to show us just a little bit of at home or in the park, or things that you don't necessarily have to do at a gym. There's a couple of exercises to get you going and get you started, and being able to get that step. So Sam, let's do some stuff. What do we got?
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna warm up real quick. At home you would do about 10 of these. We're only gonna do 2 of them for the sake of time, but we'll demonstrate. So you're gonna roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, releasing the lumbar spine.
And what is this called?
This is called an inchworm.
Okay.
Because the whole point is you're going to get into a high plank and then inch your feet towards your hands.
Totally.
Like this. So roll down, walk out to high plank, hold that. Baby steps to release the hamstrings, and then roll up. Why don't you give it a try?
See you later. No, let's try it.
Good,
Okay.
so rolling down, letting the head hang, just warming up the legs and the core, because you never want to rush into a workout.
Right.
Okay, now little baby steps with the feet.
I'm gonna have to bend these because these.
That's fine, bend your
I'm
knees
too
when you
tall
have
for
to.
this.
Good. And then roll up.
Ooh, my bad.
Yep, and it's balanced. And then we're gonna do one more. Now we're gonna reverse it. So you're gonna roll down.
Okay.
Big step back into high plank, and then baby steps with the hands. Yes.
Let's do it.
So rolling down.
Okay.
One step.
One
two
step.
and then walk it back. Great. So at home you would do that again, about 10 times. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
All right. What's next?
Now we're gonna get into the circuit. So. Circuit is the best for time because it's one exercise right after another with little to no rest. So
Okay.
we're gonna do squats,
Jesus.
push-ups, and a plank.
Squats, the same plank we just did.
Yes,
Okay.
little variation. So
Okay.
at home squat, everything you can do 12 to 15 times. If for advanced squats, you can have a gallon of water, you can have a backpack you're holding. Add weights if you think this is a little too simple, but let's take it nice and slow.
Okay.
So, shoulders are back, core is tight. Sitting back like you're sitting into a chair, knees are going out.
Okay. So I don't have to do my back straight?
I mean, ideally you do, and
Okay.
also feet a little bit. There you go, perfect. Good, so sitting back like you're sitting into a chair.
Do I bend my knees?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. And then when you squeeze up, make sure you squeeze the glutes.
My butt?
Yep.
Heard you.
Great, so let's do, yep, squeeze your butt. Great, so let's do 8
I ain't
more
got
of those,
much to
yes?
squeeze, but okay, let's do it.
Okay, ready? So do 8 at your own pace, yep. Push the hips back and squeeze.
2.
Good. Good, try and make it a little bit more fluid where you are bending your knees with it. Good, and squeeze up. Good, let's do 3 more. Good, and 2, and breathe. Always make sure you're breathing. Yep, and last one. Amazing. Great. Now let's do push-ups. So I bet you, all of y'all are probably doing them wrong. Sorry if I made an assumption.
Or not doing them at all, but we don't judge.
True. So this is not a shoulder exercise. This is for your chest and your triceps. So you want to engage your lats, and because the shoulder's a ball and socket joint, plug that bad boy in. So you can either think of twisting 2 jelly jars into the floor or having $100 bills under your armpits, which you don't want to drop, right? Because by doing that, you are engaging the lats.
Okay.
Yes, you are going to tuck your pelvis underneath you, lift up on your quads, squeeze your glutes, core tight, and push energy through the heels. Let's
You
try.
don't gotta do a whole lot though, right? It's like 2, 3.
No, if you can give me 2 good ones, I'll be a happy camper, right? Because we all have to start somewhere.
We do.
Unfortunately, we don't have the benefit of having a wall behind us. But if that's too challenging, you would stand up towards the wall with your feet as far away as it is challenging.
Okay.
Or you could use a bench or a bed if straight on the floor is too much. You have to progress.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, let's try it.
All right.
Together, right? Or not.
You get into your high plank. Let me just watch.
Right? Right?
Walk
Am I
in
doing this?
Just a little bit. Good, now tuck this. Good. Now elbows out to the side and then breathe out on the way up.
On the way up? I thought I was up.
No, so when you go down, shh.
I
You're
can't.
driving energy through the palms. The
I can't
longer
do this.
you wait there, the more tired you're gonna be.
Okay.
Now breathe out. Yeah, okay. So if that
Jesus.
that is okay. You can always pick a knee variation. Yes. So if you're on your knees, core is still tucked this way. Yes, I don't want to see booty out, so tuck your pelvis underneath you. But in your case, you would just try the knees, hold a high plank just to engage those triceps.
Okay.
Or if you were against a wall.
Okay.
And then you would progress accordingly.
Okay.
And there's no reason to be like, I can't do it, so let's not practice. Start somewhere and then progress. But now that we're here, let's move on to the next exercise. So we're gonna do a low plank.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do an advanced modification, and you'll just do a nice low plank.
Got you.
Right, so ideally, low plank, same idea, pelvis tucked under, pushing away from the ground. I'm gonna do tap outs and jacks.
Okay.
And you're just gonna hold the low plank. So all I need you to do is hands out here, feet wide, pushing energy through the heels of the feet.
Okay.
Okay? And at home you would hold this from anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds.
Okay, so let's try it.
Ideally you'd be out of breath. Good.
Let's try it. So, all right.
Yep.
Oh, slippery floor, guys. Don't worry, we're on set.
Tap one foot out, tap the other foot out. Tap one hand, then the other hand. Tap one foot out, tap 2 foot out. Yeah, that's the gist of it. So you would just want to get your hips down a little bit lower, but that's weight transfer in the abs, right? So you're just playing with your balance there.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Not too bad.
Not
So
bad at all. I mean,
it.
it helps out, guys. So beginning something like this is never going to be easy, but Samantha's here,
do it.
and she's going to keep telling us.
Okay, so we're gonna increase that heart rate a little bit by doing reverse lunges. Ideally, you would do, again, 12 to 15 on each leg, so double count. Then we're gonna do jump squats. So anything power-related, jump squats, jump lunges, you wanna do 15 reps or more. Then we're gonna do a little bit of obliques, because again, you wanna do abs right after cardio so that you hit those most transverse abdominals. So we're gonna do reverse lunges. You can have your hands here or here, stepping back. Yes, for those of you at home, don't do this where your knee is going past the toe. Make sure you're taking a nice juicy step back, sitting into this front glute, pushing away, and sticking it. Yes, so sitting into this and coming back.
We're gonna try, because for the sake of time, we're gonna try to do at least 2 or 3 of these, so that way you guys can just to take the picture.
Okay, ready? So hands wherever you like. Nice big step back.
Ooh, not
It's balanced.
Wrong leg.
Good, and so if balance is an issue for you, train track your legs a little bit so that your base of support isn't as narrow, right? So take your foot a little bit out.
I'm bow-legged, so we gotta just make sure that we got this right.
You're killing it.
It's fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's try it.
Great, so you're taller, so take a bigger step back.
Okay.
Good, and then just bend your knees slightly, push off that back foot, and come together. Good, reach the other foot back. See, find your balance. Come down, and together. Good, do one more on each, no, do one more on each leg.
Yeah,
Just so we got it.
Okay.
Yep, down.
All right.
Good, and the other one. Perfect.
Okay.
Good, everyone's favorite, jump squats. So keep it light, keep it tight, get it right. So hips back, arms back, because you want your arms moving in the same direction you are. Okay. So use the momentum of the hips, yes? So you're here. Okay?
All right, let's try it.
All right, let's try it. So nice and light, use the arms, and just think about almost thrusting the air. That's what's helping to propel you up.
Okay.
And landing lightly. So again, 15 reps at home.
All right.
Ready?
Okay, so I'm just gonna follow your lead.
Yep, arms back, hips back, and 1, bend your knees, yep.
Okay.
Yep, so you're in a squat position.
Okay.
Yep, so this is your starting position,
Okay.
and then you're hopping
Do I
up.
bend my knees?
Oh yes. How are you gonna jump from a straight leg?
Out the door.
Yeah. Starting position, load and explode, arms back, arms back. There we go, good, bend the knees. Nice and light, there you go. Killing it, yes.
Okay, that was great. Let's make some noise for Sam Graves, everybody. She was a great guest. To find out more about them, just tell them a little bit about where they can find out more.
Yeah, so I do online training and personal training. Park, home, gym, we can do it anywhere. It's Samantha with 3 A's, so Samantha _ Grace on Instagram. I have tons of videos at home in the gym. And you can reach out with any questions, concerns, or just comments. But this is a lot of fun. You did great.
I'm going to be with my doctor, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Find your purpose. You're killing it.
So after being resuscitated during break, I am back, and I am back with Quentin Lamar. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for
So for those of you who may not be aware of his story, for over a year now, he's been going through this weight loss journey as well. So I thank you so much for being here because I need someone else to talk to me about this. So where did you start your journey? What made you and what inspired you to begin?
About a year ago, I went to the doctor, like everybody should do, and my doctor told me that I was on the way to having high blood pressure. And you know, she talked to me about it for some months, and then almost a year went by, and she was like, "We need to talk about putting you on medications."
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I'm 30 years old, I don't need to be on blood pressure medication for the rest of my life. So she said, well, you know, I've been giving you hints and telling you should lose weight, but you haven't, so
of course.
we have to take these steps. So I got really, that was a wake-up call for me. It was really uncomfortable.
Yes.
So I like literally went to Planet Fitness the next day. Awful, it's like the Greyhound bus of working out, but I did it. And I started working out, and that kind of like started me on this path.
Okay. So how was it first walking into Planet Fitness, knowing that you were on this verge of being diabetic or happened to go on blood pressure medications? Yeah. How did that feel? And like going there for the first time, what was that like for you?
Well, I went when they had pizza, so that was a little
the best
weird.
time. Yeah,
but it was not a bad thing. It was just, you know, it's weird when you're not used to working out. You have to like get into the
groove of things.
The groove, and like you feel kind of out of place, and then like, you know, and I fought through that, and I was miserable the first time. I hated it, but then, you know, I kept going every day, and it became routine. And
so like pushing myself, making myself go. You know, that voice that tells you, oh, you don't need to go today, or you don't feel like going today. Yes,
but you make yourself go. I made myself go.
So did you start with like a plan, or did you just go there like guns blazing? I'm ready to do this.
I went originally. I just went and did cardio. I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on elliptical, go on the treadmill. I'm just gonna see what I can do, get some movement and all that stuff. And that's what I did. And then I did that for about a few weeks. And then I got a personal trainer who's a friend of mine. So for about 2-3 months, we trained together. He taught me how to do, you know, strength training, a lot of things like that, circuit training, kind of like what Sam showed you.
Yes.
So that kind of put me on the path to learning a lot of things, and nutrition as well.
What do you say to people who are watching right now and don't know what to do? You know, they've seen both the segments, but they need to see somebody who has been through this. What are we saying to them?
I would say, for one, be thankful for your body. A body that works is a good body. Your body's got you this far.
Yes.
Give it up for your body.
That's right. That's true.
That's one thing. Second thing is you have to realize that your body is beautiful. Everybody's body is beautiful. And we live in a society where certain bodies are held up and seen as superior, but all bodies are beautiful. And you have to learn that before you can do this, you have to love yourself and love where you're coming from, because that's important. That's who you are.
That's true.
Acknowledge that. Acknowledge yourself, and it'll be easy for you to figure out what it is that you want to change or how you want to get better. But you have to be thankful, and you have to come from a place of like, I'm okay with who I am, but I can make improvements.
And I can allow myself to go on this journey and be okay.
And allow yourself to fail, because you're going to fail. It's not a matter of if, it's when. You're going to fail. You're going to fall off. You have to, you know that if you eat a bad meal, you know what? Eat a good meal after that one. Tomorrow's another day. And
just take it by that.
And then once you start doing that, it'll become like an automatic response, and you can get over having pizza.
I agree. And I thank you so much for your inspiration, because at the end of the day, there's some people out here who just don't know. They don't know. And to see someone like yourself being able to come from a place of, I can't do it, to I'm doing this now every day, and if I could do it, you could do it, is phenomenal. So I thank you once again. To find out more about Courtney Lamar, you can follow us on Courtney's Corner 89 on Instagram. We'll be right back. So we talked a lot today about journeys, whether it be nutrition, whether it be fitness, or whether it be someone else going through this journey and being able to experience that. So right now, this young lady, Cherokee, is going to take us through a journey with her amazing voice. Give it up for our lovely lady, Cherokee Haley.
Hey, yeah, da-da-da-da, na-na-na, yeah. Okay, yeah. My sunrise Cause when I wake up, you the only thing that's on my mind. Just give me your time, just some good vibes. I can't lie, and I won't deny it. Boy, you gotta let me inside. I've been waiting for this day. I can't explain. Deep down, you know what I would do for you. So no, ain't nothing left to prove for ya. So this is how we do it. Yeah, I said okay. You show me the Jewish. I do the same thing. You wanna ride with the realest. Now show me that ring. And if I'm your queen, act like you're my king. This is how we do it. Yeah, I said okay. You show me the truest. I do the same thing. You wanna fly with the realest. Show me that ring. And if I'm your queen, act like you're my king. Yeah, take me on that journey. You gotta take me on that journey. You gotta take me on that journey. You gotta take me on that. You gotta take me on that. You gotta take me on that journey. You gotta take me on that journey. You gotta take me on that journey. You gotta take me on that. You gotta take me on that. And there I see you. I lose my mind. I get so excited. And when I touch you, can't help myself. I feel so delighted. You take me to a place I've never been before. When I'm alone with you, all I wanna do is explore. So this is how we do it. Yeah, is it okay? You show me the truest. I do the same thing. You wanna ride with the realest. Now show me that ring. And if I'm a queen, then act like you're my king. This is how we do it. Yeah, I said okay. Show me the truest. And do the same thing. Wanna ride with the realest. Show me that ring. And if I'm your queen, and like you're my king, take me on that journey. You gotta take me on that journey. You gotta take me on that journey. You gotta take me on that. You gotta take me on that. Take me on that journey. You gotta take me on that journey. Take me on that journey. Hey, you gotta take me on that. You gotta take me on that. I swear it's not just love between the two of us. Hey, there's so much more, undeniable, indescribable, never been so sure. So let's go on a journey, hand in hand, yeah. Somewhere there's a brand new plan. Ooh, oh, take me on that journey. You better take me on that journey. You better take me on that journey. You better take me on that. You better take me on that. Take me on that journey. Hey, take me on that journey. Oh yeah. You better take me on that. Yeah. No. Take me on that. Yeah. Journey.
Today we realized that the road to a healthier lifestyle starts with us. A wise philosopher once said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So all it takes is one step, guys, to get going. Don't stop. Just keep on pushing. That one step will get you to 1,000 miles. I thank all the guests, Samantha, Melina, Quentin, and our lovely Cherokee for being with us today. Thank you so much for supporting. I love you for watching. I'll see you next week on Courtney's Corner.
Thank you, guys.